Yo, what's good, Grandma family? It's your man, Grandma J here, coming at y'all with this video. This is literally like my fourth attempt at this intro. I just got interrupted by my niece because her birthday just passed, and she wanted to say thank you for her birthday gift. So, I can't complain too much. But today is September 24th, 2021, and it marks my day one of running of a 7-day work week. Basically, my company's running this incentive where if you work a 6 day for 4 weeks, you get $500. If you ran a 6 day for 5 weeks, you get 600. But I missed the first week of it, so I only had the opportunity to run 4 weeks. So I had something happen on Tuesday that caused me to miss work, and it knocked off my whole 6 day schedule thing. So my 6 day would have landed on Friday, but because I missed work on Tuesday, I would have to work Saturday in order for the 6 day to count. So I was stuck between this dilemma on whether I wanted to do it or not. I was like, do I want to do it? Do I not want to do it? Because I really didn't want to work 7 days straight. Granted, I don't have nothing planned, but it's just like I just didn't want to work 7 days. But it's either I just take the 3 weeks that I did and get the 250, or I do the 4 weeks and I get the 500, and it's a no brainer. So, the worst that can happen is I'll be tired. That's it. I'll just try to make sure that I get the rest that I need. But a lot of the times, I don't really work my whole 14 every day, so I'm gonna be all right. That's the backstory of that. But in this video here, I do want to talk to y'all about something that I don't really see too many truck drivers talking about, and that is how truck drivers really handle money, and how I feel like everybody that gets into trucking definitely should have a grip on their finances and understand finances as a whole, as far as it relates to their household or whatever personal finance. I feel like should be something that's talked about at these trucking companies and stuff like that, because they're basically hiring people that may or may not have seen the type of money that you see in trucking, and not really know how to manage money. So if companies started offering things like related to finances and just charge for that service, I feel like it would be something decent to integrate into the company program. But a lot of the times it's not going to happen, the budget and stuff like that. So it's up to the person themselves. But when I got into trucking, like y'all all know, I started trucking when I was 21. And prior to trucking, 2 years prior to trucking, I want to say I was working retail. My first 10 months working retail, I worked at Burlington Coat Factory. And I want to say that year I made only like $8,000. I believe it like $8,000. And then my second year of working, I was working at a grocery store, the Fresh Grocer off of Monument. If any of y'all from Philly, I worked at the Fresh Grocer off of Monument Road, and I started there when it first opened up, and I worked there for, I want to say, 8 months, and I can't remember how much I made, but it was nowhere near my first year salary in trucking. So long story short, I really wasn't used to trucking money, and when I started seeing the type of checks that I was seeing in trucking, I was just spending as fast as I was getting it. I had an idea of my bills, but my mindset was, as long as the money was in my account for my auto pay to go through, I don't really care. That was my mindset until I went completely broke. And I did this twice. I went completely broke the first time because I was giving away a lot of money. I was spending a lot of money, and I wasn't paying attention to how much was coming in and how much was going out, because it was coming in so fast and it was large lump sums of money. And y'all all know how how easy it is to spend like $100, $1,000. It's so easy right now. So I went broke. I went completely broke, and my first year at Prime, I quit in October. I had a little bit of money set aside. I ended up going broke. I ended up coming back to Prime that December of 20 eight was it 2018? I think 2018, December 2018. I ended up coming back to Prime after I had quit. I came back, or around January. Like, I can't remember the dates, but basically I came back to Prime, and y'all remember I started teaming again. Then I went back solo, and then I quit again, and I went local. Didn't like it. Went to Crete and was doing this regional run. Didn't like it because it's the home time situation, and I ended up maxing out my credit cards, and I went broke again. This time I said, yo, there's no way I'm going to keep going broke like this. There's no way. I have to get a grip on my finances. I have to understand what's coming in, what's going out. And that's when I really started taking budgeting serious. And a lot of people might laugh and be like, oh, budget, I'm not budgeting. You know, that's too much work. But the fact that my first year in trucking, I made all of that money and I didn't have nothing to show for it. And then my second year of trucking, I didn't make as much as my first year because I jumped around a lot. I was doing the leasing thing. Then I went local. Then I went regional. I was just jumping around my second year. So I really didn't make as much money as I made my first year. So um, I really don't think that one counts. And then my third year, that was when I started kind of getting serious. Like, yo, I don't want to end up like a lot of these truck drivers end up working all of these years in trucking and had nothing to show for it. So I just started budgeting my money. And when I went broke, y'all, it was embarrassing because everybody knew like truck drivers make money. Everybody knows truck drivers make money. They know I make money. And my pride, I'm one of those people, I have a lot of pride, for one. And for two, I don't like to ask people for things when something is my fault. Like I knew that I made a poor decision by spending up my money and maxing out my credit cards. So I had to eat that. So I jumped back on the truck and Eli, this was when me and Eli teamed the last time, and this was the longest we had ever teamed straight. And he knew I didn't have any money. You know, I had to come to him I had to come to him and I had to borrow $20 so me and the girl that I was with at the time we could have food. So I borrowed $20 off of him, and it was really hard to ask him for that. Like I deleted that message so many times, but everybody else that I had went to, they didn't have it. So I had to ask him for $20 so that I could go to the market and be able to buy some groceries and stuff for my house so that me and the girl that I was with at the time so that we could eat. So I made it work. I made it work with that $20 and I stretched it. And I want to say that I had a little bit of money left inside of my account and I knew that I could make it my first couple weeks trucking before I get my first check since being back. So I was going to eat noodles on the truck the whole time. And this man, he knew I didn't have no money, but I didn't say anything to him. And as a brother, like as somebody that's not my blood, he went into his pocket and he gave me $250 off the strength. Like I didn't ask for it. He just cashed at me money. And when I went to my Cash App, I had $250 and I looked at it and I was like, okay, maybe he accidentally sent me 250. So I was like, hey, did you mean to send me 250? And he was like, yeah, like I'm not about to let you sit here and eat noodles for the next 2 weeks. Like you my bro, so this is what I'm gonna do. And I kind of felt bad because it's not another man's responsibility to give me money, and that's to be able to take care of myself. So that's what's been driving me, so that I don't have to ask nobody for anything, so that I don't make those same mistakes. So this is why in my videos I be telling y'all, yo, pay attention to the money that you're making. Pay attention to the money that you're giving out. Pay attention to the people around you. All of these different things, because just as fast as you make it is as fast as it could go. I budget my money every single month. And ever since I've been budgeting, everything been cool. I've been paying off so much debt. I started off the year at 17,000 and some change. And I'm down to this month. I'm down to $7,795 owed to my student loans. Now my student loans would have been paid off by now, but I went and got this car. I didn't want to get a hoopty. I went and got this car, so that was the way I invested some of my money. I put down 7,000 of the money that I had saved on a car. Now, had I not needed a car, I would have been able to pay my student loan. But the fact of the matter is, I have a grip on my finances, and the thing that I started toying around with is I came up with this experiment at the beginning of the year. I said, you know what? I'm gonna live off of half of my projected income, but the net. So when I looked on my company website before I applied to the company, it said you can make like $60,000 to $65,000. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take the low end, 60K, and half of 60K, 30. And I was like, okay, 30K net. That's what I'm gonna live off of for the year. And so far, it's been working out for me. So basically, every month, I give myself $2,500, and that's to pay my bills. That's to take care of everything. The money that's left over, that pays down my debt. That goes into my investment accounts. That goes into my savings. That goes towards my sinking funds, my car maintenance fund. I just have different accounts for different things. But ever since that, I've done this whole, I'm only gonna live off of half of my income net. It really helped me because Had I not done that, I possibly could have been spending a lot more money than I should be spending on things that I shouldn't be spending it on, because my original reason for getting into trucking was to pay down my debt. And the fact that I made it almost 3 years without paying down much of any debt besides, the minimum payment, and then the other car that I had, I really didn't have nothing to show for it. So I was like, yo, this year I'm not gonna have no excuses. And like I said, I budget every single month. I know where my money is going. I know how much money is coming in, and I want to say it's the best decision I ever made. So to all the young guys out there, please do not be knuckleheads, and please listen to me. Do not be crazy with your money. Like, if you gonna spend it, make sure you keeping track of it, because like I said, as fast as it's coming in, as fast as it's going out, you got people coming from different angles asking you for money. It wasn't until I got into trucking where people started coming to me for money. People I never spoke to, family members that never talked to me, family members that don't care about me, family members that don't check up on me. They just hit me up, yo, you got $20, you got $100. They don't even make sure I'm alive or nothing like that. So I want y'all to pay attention, yo. Pay attention. This giving away money here and there, and then people feeling like they don't have to give it back because you make so much money. Don't let that stuff fly, yo. Don't let none of that happen to y'all, because when you go broke, a lot of these people that was asking you for money, they not gonna be nowhere to be found. And a lot of these people that feel like they don't have to pay you back, they not gonna be nowhere to be found. And they gonna feel entitled to your money because you make so much, and you gonna be all right. But at the end of the day, you on this road burning this rubber. Them nights when you tired, and you running, you could barely stay up, but you trying to make the load. Those nights where you might be sick, but you still working. All of those restless nights, all of those days where you don't feel like working, you did that. So nobody else is entitled to your money but you. You work hard for that. And to just give it away to people that feel entitled to your money because you make more than them, because you have more than them, or because they feel like you gonna be good with or without the 20, or with or without the 100 that you gave them. Don't let that shit fly, yo. That was one of the biggest mistakes that I made. I let people keep coming to me, asking me for money. I had people coming to me every direction, just asking me for large lump sums of money. And it's just like, yo, what was y'all doing before I started driving? Like, I'm not a selfish person, but when it gets to a point where people start draining you and what you have, that's when you guys start being selfish, because if you don't, people gonna drain you dry. So that was a lot of the things that I learned, and I've been snaked by people that I thought was, cool and stuff like that over money. And it's just like, I've been having so many eye openers, and this is like a whole nother tangent. It's just why I put my focus and my energy into myself, and I make sure that I'm good, and I make sure I got my stuff in order, because at the end of the day, it's like every man for themselves. And the last thing I would want for y'all to happen to y'all is for y'all to go broke, or to get into this crazy amount of debt or something like that, and y'all can't get out of it, and then you end up looking back like, dang, I had made all this money and I don't even have nothing to show for it. So that's all I gotta say, y'all. Invest your money properly. Pay attention to the money y'all got. Don't give away all your money. And I will see y'all next episode.